You know, when you're a kid and your parents tell you to not touch fire, they say, hey, if you touch the flame, you're gonna feel the burn. Well, that's the same thing as being a day trader and touching the chop. You know what's gonna happen. You know the outcome. You know, right? You know, but still, it's like, ooh, 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 let me touch it. Well, it's the truth. And today, well, we had a red day and we got chopped up. And it's funny because, you know, now looking at the chart in hindsight, you're like, well, why didn't you just get short? Just get short, Patrick. You could have just gotten short and you would have made tons and tons of money, right? It's that simple. You just look at the chart now in hindsight. It's funny because this morning I even told myself, I'm like, hey, you know, today I expect the chop. I expect that there's a very high probability of chop, right? The market is just going to be waiting for the FOMC, for the rate decision. That's what we're all waiting on. That's what we all want to know. Will the Fed cut? Will there be 25 basis points? Will there be 50 basis points? And, well, that leads to what? It leads to uncertainty in the market. And as you can see here, that's exactly what it was. Every time you thought the market would reverse, well, then it dumped. When you thought it would dump, it would reverse. When you thought it would go up, it would go down. When it would go down, it would go up. I had a few trades right in the morning, kind of like I think I had traded this, pushed back up to the opening range, bottom, kind of took that, and then bam, it squeezes back up. And you're like, all right, fuck, I'm going to get long. And then what happens? It pulls back again. And then the best part was I actually ended up getting long right here, kind of like, okay, we're going to maybe push back up to the VWAP. And then what? The very next candle drops 20 points. And you're like, how? How did this happen? How am I here at this point in time? Have I not learned? Have I not learned, right? Have I not learned? Have I not learned if I play with the chop, if I mess with the chop, I'm going to pay the price? Well, today I learned, or I reminded myself. Maybe I'm reminding you guys. Maybe people are going to watch this video and be like, see, I told you, Patrick. I knew it was going to be a choppy. Everybody knew it was going to be choppy. Yeah, well, I knew it was going to be choppy too. I had a very, 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 very strong idea that it was going to be choppy. I mean, I don't know. I'm sitting here, the live stream, it was a battle. It was an absolute battle. And it just got chopped to shit. Every trade I took, the market would just do the exact opposite. It would be a bull flag, it would drop. It would be a bear flag, it would pump. And yeah, I don't know. I don't really have a good answer to why it played out other than, well, just basically knowing that, like, hey, yesterday we chopped around in this area pretty much from 10 o'clock until 4 o'clock. What are we probably going to do today? Well, you know, what are we probably going to do here today? Well, we're probably going to chop around and go nowhere until we find out what happens with the Fed rate. And that's the truth. That is literally just the truth. I don't have any other answer than that. And I know that, I don't know. I feel like sometimes I set a bad example for people because I trade in this because I'm on the stream and I get bored and I kind of just want to make something happen because everybody's watching, and like not to blame the stream, but not to, you know, blame the people out there. It gets frustrating. People are telling me short, people are telling me to get long, and then it's like, okay, let me try, you know, I get in, and then, well, what happens? It just absolutely, like even here, it's like, okay, you know, bam, it's right back. Oh, you know, what do you do? There's not a simple way to trade this. This right here is just no trade. I mean, this whole thing here, you just stay out of it. Right? It's just not worth it. The pain, the struggle, the amount of stress of having to go through all that. For what? For what? To blow accounts, to be red on the day? You know, it's one thing to like lose because you put on a good trade, the trade didn't work out, the market, you know, just didn't do exactly. That's one thing to do that. It's another thing to get just fucking absolutely cut up. You know, just they call it chopping for a reason, because it's just chopping the bears, the bulls. I mean, every single opportunity this morning just ended up chop. And I know in hindsight, everyone's like, well, yeah, well, you could have just gotten short at 550 and you could just still be short and you would be in the green. And you're not wrong. You know, like in hindsight, yeah, that would have clearly been the play, right? The play would have been just to get short at open and just ride it on down. I don't know what else there, you know, you could really say at that point, honestly. I mean, at open, we kind of dumped, and then we had our 15-minute range set up where we were kind of stuck there. I took this short. We got the move down, and then it was just like this whole thing here. Kept trying to get this break below 500. I got short again, like down here, what'd I get short? 520, whatever it was. Yeah, and here, ended up getting short here. It pops up, it gets short, you know, and it's just get long, it drops. I don't know. There ain't nothing to say, really. It's just one of those days. We all have it. I don't care what your mentor says. I don't care what any fucking person on the internet tells you when they lying, right? If they don't admit to having days like we're like this, where just no matter what, they just get chopped up. Like if they don't, you know, if they don't admit to that, then they're full of shit. I'm telling you, they are absolutely full of shit. We were green. We were green until about, what was it, like 10:30. Like right here, this is where it all just kind of crumbled. Got long. I again, like terrible. Why did I get long? You know, like we're below the VWAP there. It's just, there's no reason to get long. But we did just kind of mess around, kind of averaged into it, got chopped up some more. It went lower. Tried to switch to shorts. It pops higher. You know, I don't know. I wanted to make this video because I want people to see like it is a battle. You know, even 7-8 years later, it doesn't get easier. Like trading doesn't like magically just become easy because you've been doing it for a long time. You know, the market don't care how long you've been trading for. It don't care what your strategy is. It don't care. The moral of this story here is when you know that we're in a very chop range bound market, when we have very big news coming up, when, you know, the previous day, it's like, hey, be prepared for chop. Be prepared for this. Be aware of don't trade it. Don't do it. Especially, you know, like after 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, it might just be a good time to walk away. Take your profits and walk away. Be happy with it. Don't go on tilt. Don't do it live on YouTube in front of 6,000 people. Don't do that because it ain't fun. It just, trust me, it ain't fun. And today, we did exactly that. Blew up some accounts, red on my personal account. I don't know. Overall, it's a battle, man. I wish I had more amazing info for you, a reason to why not do it. But I mean, the simple answer is don't do it. Don't trade it. That's the best way to avoid this is don't do it. That's really all there is. Don't do it. Amen. There it is. Don't do it. Don't trade the chop. Stay out of it. Kind of like one big head and shoulders kind of playing out right now. We'll see what happens later on. We got the FOMC tomorrow. We got more stuff coming up. That's it. That's all I got. Red day. It hurts. It's painful. Because again, it goes back to the simple idea, right? Like we know to not do it, right? We know not to trade it. We know don't do it. And then you do it anyway, and you're like, damn it, why did I do that? Why did I trade that? In hindsight, everyone's a genius. Everyone's smart in hindsight. So that's it. That's all I got. The moral of the story. Don't touch the fire because you're going to get burnt. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. That's all I got. Peace.